differently, okay? Because we come into more resonance with it. It is an energy being. We are energy beings. We're co-creating reality. Um, as we ascend, which is just a level of perspective, of vibration, okay, of understanding, of the kind of thinking, feeling, and acting, the kind of energy you create. If if you're a very toxic person, or immature, or unconscious, or don't give a fuck about nature, or don't think about it, or aren't connected to it, or aren't introspective, um, that's a lower vibration and a more disharmonious wave shape than someone who, you know, is fucking meditating in the fields, And I'm not, I'm not always that guy, but that's kind of like, my goal. That's what all the unconscious work for is, etc. Um, so, all that being said, we're creating our reality, um, and that's relevant because you can see how out of step we are with nature, and that's important because we co-create reality with nature. Now let's think about this. It takes us and nature in order for the sun to shine. You might say, well, that's fucking stupid. The sun will shine whether we're around or not. Well, that may actually be the case. It may give off energy in the form of photons or electromagnetic spectrum waves. However, there's not another organism on this fucking planet that's going to see it the way we do. We shine the sun the color that it is. We have the three sets of rods and cones in our optical nervous system, and we have the visual cortex in our brain that's unlike any other organism on the planet, mind you, necessary to create this color spectrum. Remember white light, blah blah blah, rainbows? Well, we're the only ones that make it look like that. I mean, as far as animals, okay? So, that's one. Not only that, we green the grass, we blue the sky, and we blow the wind. Uh, Rocks are only hard, we only think of them as hard, in relation to a soft skin, okay? Uh, Summer is only hot in relation to our internal body temperature and the way we experience the electricity on our skin, okay? And like the mountains and snow is only cold because of our, right? It's all relation, all of it. Um, and not just that. So I've been talking a lot about this lately too with friends. The multi-dimensional, extremely dynamic way in which we create this reality is kind of unfathomable. But let me try and explain. Um, Say, for instance, some sort of value of experience like the smell of fresh cut grass. Okay, we can all, most people, can relate on our own interpretation or experience, subjective experience of the smell and sight or experience of fresh cut grass. Okay, fair enough. It's gonna probably look the same ish color green because we have the same ish kind of color eyes and etc. However, we're not just experiencing this fresh cut grass smell. We're seeing it and we're attributing meaning to it through our experiences. So, say most of us have like this really pleasant, nostalgic experience with fresh cut grass. Me playing baseball, you, your dad, whatever the case may be. Say there's a small minority of people that had an extremely traumatic experience with fresh cut grass. They fucking chopped their hand off in the lawnmower. They, someone tried to kill them in the morning, and they, whatever the case may be, you can imagine. And so when they think of it, it is a completely contradictory experience to what you experience, to your creation or your relationship to fresh cut grass. So as they're looking at it, as they go by in the landscape and they open their eyes and perceive this and create this, because right, that green isn't out there. Let's get this straight. This really is just like a blanket of potential energy waves. Okay, we've established that. Every different animal species, etc., different sets of rods and cones, and then beyond that, different internal temperatures, different, and and none of the other ones fucking think, right? They're just kind of like intuiting and responding, and they're like, gotta eat, fuck, poop, pee, and experience this wholeness of this world. They're not like, look at that tree over there. They're like, look at this fucking planet over here. And again, with no words. Now we have words. Words are a great way to say, that's a that, right? And like point at something while we make a noise, right? Which is really like a bird chirping, if you think about it, the kind of arbitrary nature of it. And then we also associate symbols to it in the form of letters, words, etc. So we have these like multiple directions from which we come at this creation of a thing, grass. It's not just the color. We don't just see it and perceive the color, right? We have to have a word for color. We have to, there's a label there. Then there's a visual perception of that sensation, seeing that green. Then there's a smell sensation. Then there's a potential sound sensation. Then there's an actual like physical touch sensation. Then there's the word. Then there's the letters. And all of these things have the potential to be imbued with essence and meaning based on our experiences throughout our lives. Right? Older you get, more experiences you have. And it's all those experiences every single fucking day that you logged, some sort of, really every day that you logged, because your subconscious stores everything, all of that shit. Your conscious memories, or the things that you kind of like, picked out to remember, which isn't, let's be honest, it's not much from past experience. Um, you know, every day that you drove by grass, you like added a little bit more of imbued meaning, right? Of emotion, of that nostalgia. So it's emotions, right? Which is just chemical, hormonal, electrical sensations in the body, reactions to things. It's our visual cortex, you know, uh, optical nervous system. It's our audible nervous system, right? To be able to perceive sound. Sound is just waves if there's no ears to hear it, right? Um, it's all these things. Like I said, grass is only itchy to to us. I mean, that's probably a poor example. But like I said, things that are tall are only tall in relation to us not being very tall. Things that are hard, like this concrete, is only hard because because I'm fucking soft, you guys. No, because my skin is soft. Um, we are creating it. Is my point. Trust me. Um, and the closer I get to to really being in touch with how I'm creating it and what I'm labeling it and the scripts I'm writing, because we're also writing the scripts for our lives. You ever notice that? You ever notice how if you label something or label someone or kind of paint a broad paint with a broad brush about an experience or victimize yourself, or I mean that's just a quick way to see that, like, if you say so, it will be, that's what it'll be. If you kind of like pin that down in that way, if you say that someone is doing something to that will be your entire memory experience of it. We really don't yet comprehend the power of words. um, I don't put a whole lot of stock in the Bible. I am fascinated by it, and I've uh, come to learn a lot more about it. But the first fucking words in the Bible are, in the beginning was the Word, or the Logos, um, and the Word, and the Word was God, and God, blah blah blah, which is sound, which is vibration. So one could extrapolate that God spoke the universe into being because it's vibration. I'm a firm believer on the on the big, just to throw a big one out there, that this all is sound. That sound has to do with how big monoliths are lifted